On one hand, the channel has discussed several aspects of what Bollywood has to offer in 2020 and in the future months to come. Big budget Bollywood movies that are inevitably going to rake in big numbers and projects that have a lot of money riding on them. I thought it would be apt to talk about some of the projects that are scheduled for next year and in the coming months but are focusing on stories or characters that are compelling yet not what the masses are used to. These projects are going to be huge risks as they will be presenting unique stories and not your conventional leads on the big screen. Where there are specific formulas in terms of star faces, a romantic pair and commercial music that leads to most of the investment getting recovered, these movies are going to solely depend on whether the masses will connect with the story in theatres. Getting right into it, here is Tried&Refused Productions with 5 biggest Bollywood movie risks that has audiences excited. Sam. One project I am extremely excited about and I feel the creators have so much content to work with is the upcoming biopic on Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw titled Sam, directed by Meghna Gulzar and starring Vicky Kaushal in the title role. One of the most celebrated individuals of the Indian Army, Sam Manekshaw, also known as Sam Bahadur, had a military career comprising of several wars over 4 decades. From serving in the British Army in World War II, unfairly getting charged with sedition and being labelled as unpatriotic but justifiably getting exonerated on all charges with the Court of Inquiry, leading the country as the Army Chief of the India-Pakistan War of 1971 and making the enemies go down on their knees in defeat on close to 13 days. The man will always be celebrated and a proud aspect of our Indian history, a man who vividly tells several anecdotes of his experience in the army and interactions with the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. This small excerpt will exactly tell you how brave and charming the individual was.
Everybody says you're going to take over from me. Now that shook me for about 3 seconds. I walked across. She has a long nose, I have a much longer one. I put my nose next to her. I said, "What do you think?" And she said, "You can't." I said, "No, you think I'm so incompetent?" "I didn't mean that, Sam, you wouldn't." And I said, "Much better, Prime Minister, much better."
Knowing Meghna Gulzar is taking the director's chair and that a capable actor like Vicky Kaushal is going to play the role, I am 100% sure the quality of the film is going to be exceptional. Now, whether or not a biopic ranging for close to 4 decades of one of the most celebrated individuals in the Indian Army will be palatable to the masses in India, we will have to wait and see that in 2020. Kargil Girl. One of the biggest risks of 2020, but in my opinion a story that needs to be showcased on the big screen for the masses, is the film titled Kargil Girl. The movie is going to be directed by Sharan Sharma, an individual that has worked as an assistant director in a handful of Dharma Productions projects and is going to make his directorial debut with this film. The film is going to be based on Indian Air Force pilot Gunjan Saxena, who played a key and historic role in the Kargil War of 1999, and the role is going to be essayed by Janhvi Kapoor, a daunting task for a girl who is only 1 film old. The Indian Air Force played a substantial role in combating enemy forces in the Kargil War and created national history as it was the first time a lady officer ventured into combat zone. Saxena with her chopper provided vital supplies to the Indian troops and also took part in rescue missions for the wounded. The individual was bestowed with the Shaurya Chakra for a valiant role in the war and was the first step of change for the armed forces to look at women as equals and work hand in hand, a story that will however have a lot of new faces in the forefront. Here's wishing Dharma Productions gets it right. Lal Captain. Saif Ali Khan's box office performance since the past few years has been absolutely dreadful. Since 2017, the actor has had 4 consecutive flops on the big screen. Secret Games, however, and his role as the cop Sartaj Singh has led to a resurgence of his career of sorts. The man still, something that is extremely commendable about him is that he doesn't shy away from taking up the most offbeat roles and stories. His upcoming film, Lal Captain, is going to present him in an avatar never seen before. The man who has mostly played comedic roles, charming us with his wit, is going to play a Naga Sadhu in this film, which presumably is set in the 18th century India. The movie is going to be directed by Navdeep Singh, known for impressive films like Manorama 6 Feet Under and NH10. The movie is going to also star Zoya Hussain and Manav Vij in key roles. Just taking into account the look of the male lead and the period in which the movie is going to be set, it is quite the risk for the creators to invest on such a project and expect the masses to celebrate the film. We can only wait and see what the trailer of this film has to offer. Gulabo Citta Boo. One of the most offbeat stories that is getting released in 2020 and have very talented creative hands behind it is the upcoming film titled Gulabo Citta Boo, which is being directed by Shujit Sarkar and starring Amitabh Bachchan and Ayushmann Khurrana in lead roles. The movie is going to be based on a popular puppet show which traces its roots as far as the 17th century, originating from the village of Pratapgarh in Prayagraj, then known as Allahabad. The puppet show focuses on two women, Gulabo, a worn-out and overworked spouse, and Citta Boo, an enchantress and mistress of her husband, constantly arguing and bickering. Other articles showcase the puppet show as conflict between two warring sisters-in-law, that through their unique situation and relationship presents learning lessons about social evils. The movie seems to be focusing on Ram Niranjan Lal Srivastav and his nephew Alakh Narayan Srivastav that have popularized the two characters and the premise of Gulabo and Citta Boo. The story is extremely unique and rooted in India. However, how this premise will be presented in a movie format which can keep the audiences engaged will definitely be a tough task. Hopefully, Sarkar, with Amitabh Bachchan in the lead sporting such an eccentric look and Ayushmann Khurrana also in the cast, have something extremely impressive to offer. Sardar Udham Singh. Another massive Sujit Sarkar project which is scheduled to release in 2020 is the film titled Sardar Udham Singh, a biopic based on revolutionary Udham Singh. Michael O'Dwyer was appointed as the Lieutenant Governor of Punjab from 1912 to 1919. Udham Singh was inspired by Bhagat Singh and did what he could to rile up Indians overseas against the oppressive British rule. An active member of the Ghadar party, providing ammunition back in India to combat the imperial forces, getting sent to jail for possession of illegal arms, and finally somehow, despite being under strict vigilance, escaped the country with only one mission: assassinate the man responsible for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Michael O'Dwyer. A move which was considered to be an act of insanity by Mahatma Gandhi but celebrated by the masses. The duo of Sujit Sarkar and Vicky Kaushal will hopefully impress. However, one thing is for sure, the treatment of the particular premise with its polarizing thoughts will be quite tricky to lead to massive success. And that was the video, guys. Write it down in the comments below of what you think will be some of the riskiest projects ahead. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.